Hey, what is up you guys? It is Katie Cup and welcome to a video that I don't usually do on my channel. Today we're going to be talking about some rumors and theories that I've heard and other people have been talking about on various forms of social media. And I know my lipstick's a bit crazy today, but this is a crazy video, so I thought, why the heck not? But sorry if this video seems a bit unorganized. This isn't like scripted or anything, but we're gonna be just doing my best over what I've heard past couple weeks and stuff on various forms of social media. So the first one we're gonna talk about has to do with cosmetics. And so one theory that I've heard is that chapstick, the companies that make chapstick, put little tiny bits of like shard glass or like fiberglass in the chapstick, so that way every time you use it, it kind of like cuts up your lips, and like microscopic, and it cuts up your lips, so that way it makes your lips still look bad, so you need to buy it and use more, so they get more money and that kind of thing. I don't know if I believe that. Like, a lot of this stuff I don't really believe, but it's just to talk about because I've heard it. And then there's some also theories about Pokemon and stuff like that that'll be later. But, I'm going to start this off by saying, if you have any theories or anything you want me to talk about, if you like this video, drop them down in the comments. But yeah, so supposedly they cut up your lips, so that way when you use it, they make your lips look rough and rugged, and you need to keep buying it and buying more and using it more, so they make more money. But basically, like, I hardly ever use it except like in the winter, so my lips are always soft, but whenever I use it, see, like, I've got some right here, and whenever I use it, I like kind of feel icky, and like I always need to put more on every so often, so maybe I'll stop using it, who knows. And then the next one I want to talk about, and I'm not gonna say I dislike or like this person, because I'm like neutral when it comes to YouTube and stuff like that, but there have been rumors that Kylie Jenner, the creator and seller of Kylie Cosmetics, is reusing people's old makeup to try and get it to sell because they had more stock left. And basically, for example, like a company called ColourPop or like Hard Candy, they're like, you know, or L'Oreal are like, oh shoot, our makeup's not selling and we need to sell out of this X amount of stock that we have. So, let's call up Kylie and be like, hey, you know, we have all this old makeup that's not really selling. Can you slap your name on it and it'll sell for hundreds and hundreds of dollars? And Kylie's like, okay, you know, it's like, literally, like, I don't know if I believe that, but that sounds like pretty legit to me, that in order to get old makeup to sell, they put a big brand name on it and all of a sudden it starts selling. Oh, and speaking of selling out of things, a lot of like brands and YouTubers, it can be YouTubers, brands, books, cereal, whatever, probably not food related because of, you know, expiration dates and all that stuff, but they'll order like 50,000 stock, and then they'll limit it in limits, like 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. And so what will happen is they will order that X amount of stock, and then they'll put the 5,000 stock out on the shelf, and then they'll sell that, and they'll be like, oh, we're sold out. And then people will be super disappointed, people will want it, then in a couple years, oh, it's back, you know, color number 95 is back for a limited time only, and limited time is not a real thing. Yes, it'll be back for limited because they'll pull the stock off the shelf and make you wait a little bit more, and then they'll bring it back for like vintage retro collections, blah, blah, blah. So when they say it's sold out forever, that's not true. They're not making new stock when they sell out of something. They're just holding it in the warehouse till it is really, really popular and really, really wanted. Or they'll do what some evil people do and make knockoffs of it and sell it for the same price as the original. Like Starry Night from Essie. I think it was Essie, yeah. And then I'm trying to think. Oh, have any of you guys downloaded or heard about the new Snapchat thing called SnapMap? I think, like, on behalf of, like, Snapchat and, like, people that have just turned young adult and were recently teenagers and the generation that uses, like, that kind of thing, I don't think that that is a good idea, because of SnapMap is basically this thing where if you can see where all your friends are anywhere on the world using the map, anybody that uses the app Snapchat. And that's one of the reasons why I don't use it. I downloaded it for probably like a month and then I deleted it because I did not like it. And basically like, so basically, like, SnapMap is a good way. Like, when Pokemon Go first came out, like, people like stalkers and child molesters and robbers were using Pokemon Go as kind of a way to track down people because, you know, you go to a Pokestop and, oh my gosh, there's a Charizard, or oh my gosh, there's a Venusaur, or oh my gosh, there's a Gyarados or a Dragonite. And then the robbers would be waiting there and people would get robbed just because of the rare Pokemon. That's one of the reasons why I'm glad the hype has kind of settled down a bit, so I don't have to be afraid to go out and go Pokemon Go hunting, which I do still play the game, by the way, but, level 24. But, so basically SnapMap is now doing the thing that Pokemon Go did, where it's trying to make the app more accessible and be able to, like, track people down. And Snapchat started off with, like, the hype around Snapchat and, like, the whole gimmick was the facial recognition with all the crazy filters and all that stuff. So, first it was facial recognition. Now it's using, GPS and a map to track where you are. I think, like, this is a thing with the government so they could spy on people. Like, I'm not saying I'm believing that, you know, government Illuminati don't come for me, but I'm just saying I personally think that that's a way that the internet and the government and people can spy on other people. It's not just, like, a thing for friends, it's a thing for, like, the government as well. And also, another thing that I've kind of, like, heard and heard and kind of gathered was, at first, only Snapchat had those, like, crazy filters, and then the app started getting super, super popular, and so people and the people at Facebook are like, Snapchat's starting to outsell us. What do? I know, let's add some filters to Messenger and to our mobile app, and maybe we'll do just as well as Snapchat. So, obviously, apps do compete with each other. That's definitely a known fact that can very well be proven. Arm rash. But that can very well be proven as, like, a thing that apps do compete with each other. But, yeah. So there's a theory. This is the one that's going to be kind of, like, creepy and weird and all that stuff. There is a theory that people with birthmarks, that a birthmark is like a scar or a mark showing how you were murdered in a past, or how you died in a past life. That is, like, just mind-blowing at this point. Okay, so I don't have any pictures or anything like that, like other YouTubers. I'm not quite that professional. sorry. But, so basically, there was this old woman, I think she was in Thailand, and basically, she said when she died, she wanted to be reincarnated as a little boy. Well, her daughter, when she was on her deathbed, the daughter dipped her finger in white paint and put it on the back of her mom's neck. Well, the old woman died, and then soon after, or a little while later, the daughter had a son, a little boy. And basically, this little boy started having these memories of stuff that only the old woman would have remembered, and started saying some of the stuff that the old woman owned was his. And the craziest part, on the back of his neck, he has a white or light birthmark that's shaped like someone smearing paint down his neck. Oh, that's so freaking crazy. Oh my goodness gracious. But like, honestly, and then the creepy, there's a creepier one. Oh my goodness, I need a drink for this. I'm not drinking tea because that would be irony, because then you'd be spilling the tea, but yeah. Oh wow. So basically this little boy was murdered, and then another little boy had this dream that he was being chased by someone with an axe, and this little boy had this dream and like dreamt where so apparently this little boy was reincarnated as another little boy, and this new little boy was having memories of his old life, and he took the police and took his parents to where his old body was. And literally, there at the side of the body, they found the skeleton with an axe cut in the forehead, and the axe, and this little boy has a birthmark right on his forehead. Oh my gosh, that's so freaking creepy. But like, literally, I don't know, but there are things that are creepy in this world. And so basically now we're going to talk about some video game conspiracy theories that some are really ridiculous and stupid. Some of them I've come up with myself, and then some of it's just going to be discussion, I think, if I can remember all this stuff. So basically the first theory that I've heard is that Peach, that the whole like this whole Super Mario Brothers, I think it was 3, was a stage play. Because literally, whenever you completed a level, the curtain would come down. And the level would end. So, like, that makes sense to me. But the main theory is that every time Peach saves Mario, Caitlin, okay, Katie, come on. Every time Mario saves Peach, she'll give him a little kiss on the hat or a little kiss on the nose. Like, thank you, thank you, Mario. But obviously, you don't think Peach is really in love with Mario, just as Mario is with Peach. Because there is a theory that Peach is actually, like, in love with Bowser or something. Because literally, like, whenever Peach gets kidnapped or anything, there's no sign of, like, struggle or anything. She doesn't ever try to run away. Except in some games that can be proven, but they're not main series Mario games. But, so basically there's this theory going around, and it's very, very, very stupid, that the Bowser's Kingdom, the Koopa Kingdom, and the Mushroom Kingdom had an agreement that stopped a war a long time ago, that basically that Bowser or the reigning king of the Koopa Kingdom, has to kidnap a current monarchy in order to keep the kingdoms from going to war. How dumb is that? How dumb is that? How dumb is that? Literally. And this is another theory. Now, I am going to make a disclaimer. I am not against the LGBT community. I'm not complaining about this. I have quite a few friends that are the LGBT. But basically, there's a theory that in the games Link and Zelda, even like the newer ones where they're not teenagers and not little kids, that basically there's a theory that the reason that Link and Zelda never ever get together or get married at the end of any of the games or anything like that is because Link is gay. I mean, if you think about it, he wears almost a dress. he wears earrings. Now, this isn't my thing. I heard this. This is not my theory. I didn't come up with this. Guys, LGBTQ, please don't come for me. But basically, there's a theory that Link is gay, or at least bi, because he wears jewelry. He always has like a dress on. He wears like Ugg boots. He wears tights. But that's just a theory I heard. It's really, really stupid. I don't think it's true. And there's also another theory that Rosalina and Peach are like the same person from another dimension. And it's just, why? But anyway, the last few theories that I want to talk about are Pokemon related. And these are theories that I came up with. And it's kind of like, I don't know if it's childhood ruining or ruining the fun for all the Poketubers, but my first theory is the theory of why Ash never ages in the games, well, not in the games, but in the anime. Okay, so the main theory that a lot of people like to think is that the reason Ash never ages is because in the first episode when he got attacked by that flock of, I think it was Spearow or else Pidgeys. Spearow, I think. And there was the lightning storm. He got struck by lightning and he got put into a coma. And that's the reason why he never ages. And the Nurse Joys and the Officer Jennies always looked the same. And that the whole anime and all these like friends he's making and all this stuff is in his head because he's trying to stay in his coma because he doesn't want to wake up and face the real world again. And people think that Pikachu is his dog that's maybe sitting by his hospital bed or something like that. I don't know. But I have a different theory, and it's not quite as mysterious and all that stuff as that theory. And basically, I'm not saying that the anime is all around just for kids. I know a lot of older people that watch it. I watch it sometimes. I watch all the movies. But basically, my theory is that the reason Ash never ages is because the series' target demographic is children and young boys or girls, me included, when I was younger. But basically, the reason Ash never ages is because the show's target demographic, I'm not saying older people can't watch it, I'm just saying their target audience is little boys and little girls. And that's the reason Ash never ages, is because when they go out on the playground or with their friends, they want a character they can relate to. They want a character they can portray, dress up as for Halloween, play Pokemon with their friends on the playground or in their backyard or stuff like that, like I used to do with my friends that were boys and girls. Like, honestly, that's, I think, the real reason Ash never ages is because the target demographic is little boys and little girls. And that's probably why Ash never ages, and that's why also the games have gotten easier, because a lot of younger people are playing it now, and they're trying to keep the games easy for the next generation after generation after generation, so that way young boys and young girls can still watch it and still relate to it. And that's why Ash never ages, is because, and also that's the reason why all the Officer Jennies and Officer Joys look the same, is because most kids don't really care about adults. So that's why adults are hardly ever featured in the anime. And I saw a thing on Facebook, I think it was from Reddit, that Jessie and James are actually only like 17 or 18 years old. They're not even adults, supposedly. So that's probably why all the adults look the same or are hardly ever featured, is because of the fact that the target demographic is kids, and kids don't really care about adults, to be honest. And I think that also explains all the missing fathers, is because when you're a kid, your father, I'm like speaking from personal experience, because my dad was gone most of the time. When you're a kid, your father is usually out working or out in the fields if you live in Minnesota where my aunt lives. and your family's out always on a job or working or on trips or anything. And that's why Ash always has his mom he can talk to, because usually moms are stay-at-home parents and the mom is always there, unless you have two dads or two moms. But I'm just saying, you know, there's always one parent there. And so that's why Ash's mom's always there, but Ash's dad is never there, is because supposedly his dad's always working. Well, the kids' dads are always working. And then my second theory is about Pokedex entries. Now, Pokedex entries can sometimes be really fun, but they can also be really, really creepy. Like, I have an example of one that I think it was from X and Y. Or Sun and Moon, I'm not sure. I think it was X and Y, but I don't remember what generation it was. But basically, the Pokedex entry says that if you find a Drifloon and if a child finds a Drifloon and grabs onto its ropes, its ribbon strings, the Drifloon will carry the child to the underworld. And so basically, that's a Pokedex entry that's there, and most people don't really like. I'm not talking about Poketubers that sit and analyze the games and really get in depth with it, like me and all the other Poketubers, Astrina Liam and all them, and Candy Evie and Birdkeeper Toby, is because we're older and we actually take the time to sit and analyze the games and really get into the games and the theories and all that stuff. The younger kids who the games are targeted at, mind you, they don't do that. They don't sit and read the Pokedex entries. They just spam the A button. And so they can get away with making dark and creepy Pokedex entries like that because they don't take the time to read them. But we do. So that's why we have all these theories. And also, like, in one of the games, I'm not sure, there'll be this NPC, and when you go talk to him, he'll be like, oh, I love my Drifloon and all that stuff. And then you go click on the Drifloon, and it'll say, Drifloon looks like it's trying to size you up. Or it says, Drifloon's trying to figure out how much you weigh. How freaking creepy is that? He's trying to take us away. That's creepy. That's a thing that adult gamers and young adult gamers, they notice. The kids that the games are targeted at, they don't notice this. They just spam the A button for hours and hours and hours. They don't take the time to do this. That's also another reason why you don't see very many young shiny hunters, is because they don't have the time or patience to just sit and shiny hunt for hours like we do. Especially YouTubers who it's their job to shiny hunt, like Supreme Arcanines and Natty Chan and Natty. Her name is Natty Chan, yeah, but her Twitter name is Natty. Anyway, but basically, and back to the whole Ash never aging theory. I personally think that's the reason, because if it really is the whole lightning theory, then Pokemon is a lot darker than we really think it is. But, yeah, and so basically, that's pretty much all I'm going to talk about right now, because I don't really have any more. I could do the theories that, oh, I remembered one. I just saw a video on this. Somebody did a video about the company BuzzFeed, and a YouTuber named Safia Nygaard. I think I said her name wrong. Or Sophia, I don't know. I apologize if she does ever see this. She probably won't. But basically, there's a theory or a video that BuzzFeed is stealing her ideas and then making their own videos to get views. Well, here's the thing about that. So anyway, like I was saying, basically what people think is that they're stealing her ideas. No, that is not what's happening. I don't believe that that's what's happening. So basically, I don't believe that that's what's happening. I believe what's happening is Safia makes this video, and BuzzFeed comes out with a video either right before or right after that. Well, Okay, for example, let's take making your own lipstick. Safia did this video and so did BuzzFeed. Well, actually, a lot of YouTubers have done this video. There is a place, I think it's either New York or LA, that you can go called the Bite Cosmetics Lab. And you can make your own lipstick there. That's something I want to go do. And if I do go do it, I'll make a video on it. Because it's a trending thing. A lot of YouTubers are doing this, so it's trending. So BuzzFeed is just trying to stay, ow, I'm getting rash. BuzzFeed is just trying to stay on trend with some of the other YouTubers and what people are talking about and what's trending and all that stuff. So it's no coincidence that Safia made this video and then BuzzFeed made this video also. It's because that's what's trending. Good grief. I am gonna spill my Diet Coke all over this desk making this video. Cause, good grief. But basically, like, it's not thievery. It's like, it's basically not thievery. It's trending. It's what's on trend. And it would be stealing her video if they went and made the exact same shade with the exact same name as her. That would be stealing her video idea. But they're not stealing it. It's what's trending. See, look, I have the comment right here that I wrote on the video. And I'm not gonna I'm not going to call out this person who made this video. I'm not gonna link their channel because I don't do that because I don't think their theory is correct. But this is what she said. This is what the video's called. It's basically called BuzzFeed is stealing her ideas. And I wrote, and I quote, or maybe BuzzFeed is just making videos after her because it's trending, which is what a lot of YouTubers and companies do. I myself am guilty of this because a lot of Pokemon YouTubers were doing this thing called a 30-day Pokemon question challenge. And then I saw that a bunch of them were doing it, and so I did it. Because I wanted to stay relevant, I wanted to get the views, and I wanted to do the video myself. It's called staying on top of things and staying on trend. They are doing this because they want to stay relevant. They want to keep getting the views. They want people to keep subscribing. They want to keep making videos. And so they're looking up trends and doing them themselves. So they're taking the trends that people are doing and making their own videos about it. Stop hating on BuzzFeed. Good grief. And then another person commented, this is kind of like, hey dude, can I copy your homework? Yeah, sure, just change it so it's not obvious. That's really, like, dumb, honestly. Like, seriously. BuzzFeed is trying to stay on trend. They're not stealing anybody's ideas. They're not stealing anybody's videos. And for the people that don't really know who Safia is, she used to work with BuzzFeed when they started doing Ladylike, where a bunch of ladies try products and make videos based on what's trending. And then she left BuzzFeed, and also that became a trend. And now there are a bunch of YouTubers making videos about why they left BuzzFeed when they never worked at BuzzFeed in the first place. But basically, BuzzFeed is trying to stay relevant. They're trying to follow the trends and all that stuff. Okay, so do you remember when the One Chip Challenge came out and everybody was doing it? Well, everybody that had balls anyways, because I know I won't be doing it. I couldn't do it. I hate spicy food, but my stomach doesn't tolerate it. But basically, everybody started doing the One Chip Challenge when that super spicy chip came out that was like Ghost Pepper or Carolina Reaper or something. BuzzFeed did the same thing. BuzzFeed made a bunch of their interns try the chip on camera, and that was because it was relevant. Why do you think there are a bajillion videos of people trying hot sauce, or a bajillion videos of people doing Japanese candy, or Mexican candy, or Japanese soda? It's because it's trending and people look for that stuff. Like, honestly, you could go on YouTube and look at about 75 videos of people being sorted into their Pottermore house because it's a thing that's trending. People like doing it. It's a thing that's popular, and it's a thing that people watch, things that people want to see. It's trending. It's staying on trend. And I could literally rant about this for hours. It makes me so mad that people hate on BuzzFeed and other people because apparently they're stealing videos. That's not what's happening. It's trending. It's what's on trend. It's what happens. But anyways, this video is way too long already, so I'm going to end it here. If you guys liked it, please leave a like and subscribe. And so, if you guys want me to talk about more conspiracies or theories and you have some of your own and you want me to talk about them, please link them down in the comments or message me on YouTube Direct Messenger. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!